Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I have an exciting video for you today. It's a brand new product, just been released on the market. I think it went up yesterday. We got to play with it first, so I was so excited. But it's a brand new product from Signet stamps, and I got sent a prototype, and I have been playing around with them. And this is some of the things that I have made, as you can see. Guess what they are? Yes, they are round stamps. I am so excited because how many times have I wanted a round stamp? All of these little stamped images are just off of paper, regular digitals or pattern paper, whatever. And I have gone and made some little label stamps out of them. You could make labels, you could make just some highlight your stamped images. Anything that you want. And the good part about this is these will fit in all of your punches that are the same size. Let's say this one is, if you have a 2.5 inch circle punch, this one you can just punch it right out. If you have a 2-inch circle punch, you can use this one, punch it out. If you have a 1.5 inch circle punch, you can use that one and punch it out. Then let's see, I think that's the largest one. Yeah, right out. And they give you enough black on the edge that you don't have any white showing. Even if you move your circle punch a little bit when you're trying to punch, you're still going to have that black image around. So let's punch with these, and then I'll tell you exactly what sizes they are. Now, I don't have all of these circle punches yet, but we have ordered the larger ones in the store. Now, you know that we already have some circle punches, and a lot of you have purchased those, so you could use what you have. Or if you don't have a circle punch and don't want to purchase one, you can just cut them out. I took this paper. This is just plain copy paper. Now, let me tell you, copy paper is not going to punch out well with your punches, as you know. Most of you know that. It's too flimsy. So you would need to put an extra paper behind there to get this to punch out. But don't do this on regular copy paper. You're not going to get a good punch. But if you want to do it on regular copy paper like I did here, then you can just cut it out. We'll cut that out in a minute, and I'll show you a little bitty trick on cutting out circles. I don't do well cutting out circles, but I found a little trick that helps me. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that little bird, so I just stamped right around that. These circles, and let's see, this is an image from, let me think what paper collection this is from. I want to say this is Triple V Vintage. I'm not sure. If this is your collection, post it below, please. I have taken this paper out, and I have completely forgot who sent it to me. So we're going to take, as you can see, mine are well loved. Now, I will tell you, when you first get your stamps, on the back, there's going to be a protective film. You pull that film off, and they're very, very sticky, as you can see. And I've used mine a ton, and they're still really sticky. Put your stamp down on your paper. Bring your block to your stamp. That keeps the stamp from getting misaligned or keeps it from stretching one way or the other. So this one should fit, and it does, right around those. So let's go ahead and stamp that. Now I'm going to use some VersaFine ink. The reason I like VersaFine ink when I'm stamping is because it's very pigmented and it stamps very, very well. Now this is plain copy paper, so I'm not going to be able to punch this out correctly, so I'm probably going to cut it out. But right now I just want to show you how they stamp. Now, if you want to bring your ink to your stamp, you can do that, or you can bring your stamp to your ink. Watch the edge of this as I put some ink on there. Oops. See how it grabs that ink really well? Now, you need to apply your ink until you don't see any white or any clear, as I should say on these are clear, anything that is miscolored. Now I can see that I have a little bit right here that I need to put a little more ink on. not really miscolored, but doesn't have the black on there. Okay, that looks good. Now, I will tell you another thing. If you get ink on the inside here, you can see I have done that. As long as you're using a stamp block, you don't have to worry about that. But these do not work well if you don't use a stamp block because they're thin, which is a good thing. But if you're not using a stamp block, you're going to press down on that center and it's going to go right down to your paper. So let's, now I'm not going to be able to get right over the top of these because I'd get my head in the shot, but I'm just going to do the best that I can. Now when you put your stamp down on your paper, you need to leave it there for a little while, just a few seconds. It helps that ink transfer to your paper. And like I said, this is plain copy paper, so if it doesn't stamp exactly correctly, then that's my fault because it's copy paper. But I think it's going to get a good image anyway. Look at that. Now, this, the little out alignment is because I can't get right over it, but look. And when that is cut out, that is so, so cute. I love, love, love these. All right, let's just say, let me look. That'd be a little bit too big. Let's try this one. You get 4 in a set. Let's say I wanted to capture this little cup right here and maybe a little bit of that book in this one. So that's hot cocoa and then a little bit of that book there. Now I'm going to take my stamp to my pad. I'm going to press straight down. You're not going to swish it back and forth. You're going to press straight down and then look at it and see if it looks black all the way around or whatever color you're stamping with. And then you're going to bring this to your paper and just stamp it down. Hold it there for just a few seconds and lift up. Now look, I have my little cup of hot cocoa, and then I have part of that book in there. And we'll cut that out in a minute, and you'll see just how cute that is. So let's find, we could go ahead and stamp these others, but let's do another one. Let's do a different one. Let's just say you have this paper, and you want to make this into a little label so that you can put on your projects. Now, I will be using lots of these, tons of these, in my next fall journal, so watch for that one. But let's see, I'd like to get this and then part of this around there. So I am going to use probably the largest one. Let's grab this big guy. And you can see mine are discolored some. I don't worry about that stuff. It's not going to hurt them. It doesn't hurt them at all. Okay, so we're going to bring it like that. And then I'm going to bring my ink to my stamp. I just love how they grab the ink. Okay, and then I look at it to see that everything looks like it's colored nice and black, and it is. Then I'm going to take this right down there. Now, if you just want to do labels, strict labels with this, that's just got wording on there, you can do that too. I'm just right now using it on some of the papers, scrap papers that I have right here beside me. Because all of these will look so cute, tucked in little pockets or tucked in behind a tag or something like that. They're going to be cute. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not adorable? Now, if you have a punch, and let me go ahead and, if you have a punch that is 2.5 inches, you're going to be able to punch that out and you're going to get this complete image. It's not going to be too small, too large. They designed these exactly to fit the punches. So if you have a 2.5 inch circle punch, you can just punch that right out. And this is a heavier cardstock, so it should work on that with no problem. But I just think that's adorable. Now, let's use the tiny one. Got 4 different sizes here. And I don't think this is the stamp block I've been using, but we'll go ahead and use it. This stamp block I got some product on a while ago and I haven't cleaned it up good yet, but we'll do it anyway. Let's see. No, that's a little bit big. This is the tiny guy, but he is so cute. Okay, let's just do this. I have a little crabapple there with some music behind it and a little leaf. Now, I wouldn't punch that right in the center. I would move it off to the side a little bit. You don't want the image to be centered. That makes it look too intentional. Okay, look at that. So I'm going to move it off to the side. I'm going to try to capture some of that leaf and some of the music paper. Okay, so we're going to leave that there a second. Oh, look. When we cut that out, that is going to be fantastic. Okay, I want to get this sunflower, and I think I can get most all of it. That sunflower right there, I think that's so pretty, and we'll be able to use that in our next fall journal because we have a lot of sunflowers in it. So we're going to ink this guy up. Now, I will tell you that Tim Holtz Distress Ink doesn't work as well on these stamps, but it does work. It just presents a little bit lighter stamp. But I'll show you some different colors in just a minute. I'm enjoying this black right now. Okay, we're going to kind of move it to where the center of that sunflower is not right in the center of our stamp. And the prices on these stamps are fantastic. This is a good polymer stamp set. It's not gonna, I mean, this is gonna last you forever as long as you take care of it. And when I mean take care of it, I mean just don't throw it around and get dirt all over it and that kind of thing. I mean I clean mine, but you know, look at that. When that is cut out, is that not going to look awesome? Now, I could punch this out if I had a punch that big. I don't have one right now, but we do have some coming. We have the sizes of punches for all of these on the way. So they should be here very, very shortly if you want to come back and purchase a punch to go with your stamps. Because I know you're going to go over and purchase these stamps real quick. Okay, let's see what we want to get on here. This is part of Susan's Autumn Bliss. Let's try something a little different. I want to grab some words, I think, off of something. Let's see if we have anything here that has any writing on it. Okay, look at this. Let's, A Time Together. I love that. I think we'll be able to get that in with... no, not that one. Let's use the big one. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can get it in that way. So let's try that. Or maybe autumn. What do you think about autumn? Okay, let's try gather and see what we get. Oh, and that butterfly right there, we can do that. Okay, let's see. I want to bring it over this way a little. And you can also just stamp a bunch of backgrounds. Just take a cream colored piece of paper or something, stamp a bunch of backgrounds with the background stamps that you have, and then use these to make your label part or your outline. Okay, ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's start cutting out some things. Now, what I clean these with is just regular soap and water. And you can see that I got ink on the inside of that, but it did not stamp down here because I used a stamp block. Don't try to do this without a stamp block. It doesn't work as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut straight up. You're going to cut straight across, and you're just going to get the very tip of that there, of the outline. As you can see, I'm just cutting just like I was cutting out a square almost. So you can see I've got my little nibs here all around. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to move it and cut right at that edge. Don't cut the edge off, just cut right at the edge. And just keep going around doing that. It takes a little bit longer, but you get a better cut out image when you do this. Okay, then when you get to the point where all you have is some little nubs there, or nubs, then go back and just take your scissors and a very slight little trim, and you have got that cut out without having all of those little divots and ins and outs like I do when I try to cut a complete circle. It looks more like you have punched it out. And most of you probably have the punches that fit these. I don't. I have 3 of them, but I don't have this largest one. But I will show you in a minute. I'll punch out one. Wanted to show you how to do this first. This just makes it so much easier. And it has a nice clean edge when you finish. See? Look at that. Looks just like I punched it out, and it wasn't any trouble. It wasn't like going around and all of a sudden your scissors go in and then they go back out and you finish and you've got all these little ins and outs on there. You're not going to have that when you do this. Okay? And what I would do here is I would just use this as a label. It's beautiful. You've got some other images here, so that works well. Now, let me find one that I have the size of punch for. I have a 1.5 here. Okay, let's use the 1.5. That's this one. And let's do another stamp on here. I don't think I stamped very many 1.5s. I was trying to get all that big stuff in here. I'm just going to do this one. It's got a little bit of patina in there. Stamp it straight down, hold it, pull it up. Okay. Now, I think I'll probably have to cut that out because I don't think my stamp will reach. I mean, my punch will reach. You can tell I'm excited because guess what? I'm just rattling. Okay, trim that out a little bit. Then you're going to slide that in your punch, and I didn't really leave me enough to hold on to, did I? There we go. All right, you see? I'm going to let you see it up close. See when I slide that back and forth? You can see those edges, but if I put it right in the middle, and I'm just looking in the view camera to do this. If I put it right in the middle, as close as I can, and I know it's harder to line up like that, but punches out, and then look, there is your little image. Fantastic. I love these. And guess what? Bob was so generous that he sent a complete set of these for me to do for a giveaway. So I have a complete set that we will be using for a giveaway. Now, there will be a couple of little stipulations for you to enter this giveaway. First off, I want you to click on the link below for Signet stamps and go over and just look at these. I'm not telling you have to purchase them. I'm telling you just to go over and look at these. That you need to do. If nothing else, leave him a comment. Let him know. If you can't purchase them, just leave a comment and say these are beautiful or something to that effect. Or I saw these on E's video. Just something. And then the second one is you have to leave a comment below letting me know if you would like circle stamps or if you think you would use circle stamps. If you don't think you would use circle stamps, then please just leave this entry for someone else who would. But that is a couple of the stipulations that I would like for you to do. All right, let's do this pumpkin right here, and then we'll punch him out. All right, let's see. I'm not going to get the whole pumpkin. I'm just going to get kind of the side of it. That way it doesn't look like it's so intentional. Oh, just love it. Every time I pull that up, I'm amazed. Okay. And, you know, I'm not just saying this because they sent me these stamps. I bought the complete set of their other stamps, other label stamps. I'm saying this because these are nice stamps. I have used over the years lots of different stamps, and I've never used any that stamp so good as these. And that's the complete truth. I told him when he offered to send these to me and for me to do a review, I said, I will be honest. If I don't like them, I'll tell you I don't like them. And he said, that's fine. I want you to be honest. But look at that. Is that not darling? Now, I'll use a different color ink just to show you that, you know, we can use a different color ink on here. You can use your Tim Holtz inks. It's just not going to stamp as good, but you can do that. All right, we have, what have I done with it? Okay, we'll just use this Distress Oxide. And what am I going to use? Let's see. No, we don't want to do that. Let's just get this lady in that one. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now, with the Distress Oxide, you may have to just keep applying that ink on there for a little bit. It's not going to be a smooth image as your black is, but it'll work. It's just going to be a little lighter, and that may be what you like. You may like a little bit lighter. You can use an orange, just all kinds of colors. A green, I used a green yesterday and it was very pretty. Okay. So there we go with the brown. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's punch this little girl out. Let's see. I don't want to necessarily lose my butterfly and my truck, so I'm just going to cut it around like this. There we go. And this is Susan, Hello Susan on Etsy. This is her digital, fall digital. I absolutely love it. Okay, now I'm just kind of centering it up. And there's just enough, and I call it bleed room, around the edge of these that you don't get any white edges out there. Then you can just take your blending tool and you can just go around the edge of this. And look how cute. Is that not adorable? I just think they're very, very cute. Let's go ahead and cut this one out, and I'll just show you again. I cut straight, barely hitting the edge of that stamped area. Again, we're going to just keep going around. I turn it a little bit at a time. Go all the way. And I'm not turning my scissors when I'm doing that. I'm just cutting straight lines. Then when I come back and I start taking off these little nibs, I really don't have to turn my scissors either. I'm just almost doing a straight line again. So, you know, we can usually do straight lines. It's circles that we have problems with. But as you can see, I'm just almost doing a straight line. It's just a little bit of a curve. And I can do little curves. I just can't do complete circles. My hands just don't do that. So I want you to go over and check out Signet. They have other stamps and they have other things over there, but I do want you to go over and check them out. You don't have to make a purchase. That's not one of the requirements to enter, but I would like for you just to go over and, like I said, if nothing else, leave him a comment and say, I just watched E's video and the stamps are beautiful, your stamps are gorgeous, because this is a new product that they have just made. And I know how scary it is to come up with a new product and launch it. It is really scary. You know, it's it can mean whether it makes you or breaks you. If you just know if people like it or not, that helps out tremendously. Whether everybody purchases or not, if you just know if they like it or not, that helps out. So it would help his feelings, I know. I know if you would just go over and say, Bob, I saw your stamps. I love them. I will purchase when I can, or I'd like to have one. Now, I think you can purchase. I'm not sure if you can purchase these individually. I think you can. I think you can purchase just one and then go back later and purchase another one. I'm pretty sure you can. I know you can on the label stamps, these. He has these as well, and I know you can on these. You can purchase just one at a time or two at a time or whatever. But, and I think you might be able to on these. But you will see that the total price of all of these is not that much. It's not that expensive at all. He has set a very good price on these. Now, I know that I'm going to have somebody, because I always do, every time I do a video, I always have somebody that says, well, how do you use that in your journal? You have to come back and watch the video where I start putting my next fall journal together, and I'll show you exactly how I use these in my journal. These will be awesome. You know, years ago when I was scrapbooking, we used tons of circles, and we just punched out regular circles without having any images inside them, and we used them like crazy in our scrapbooking. So circles are coming back now. They're making a big comeback. I have noticed in a lot of designs and different things, they have circles. They have circles on pages that highlights different things. So circles are making a comeback. Some people feel like that it's very hard to use a circle on a page. I don't feel that way, because I know there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Like I said, I did that years ago on scrapbooking. So, but I will show you coming up very shortly. Probably next week we'll be working on our next fall journal, and I'll show you some of the ways that we're going to use these. I have a few that are Christmas, but then most of these are fall related, and I will be using those. That's why I stamped the fall images so much. Now this one is stamped on just black and white. Isn't that pretty? So let's try this pretty blue. This is Tim Holtz Tumble Glass. Now I need to clean my stamp a little bit. And I'm probably going to stamp off. I will tell you, you need to condition your stamps when you get them. And if you don't want to, rub them on your hand or whatever to get a little bit of that oil on them, then you can just stamp them over and over again on a scrap piece of paper. I usually just take them and I stamp them around on my hand. It takes a little bit of that oil off of your hand, and it helps the ink to stick to your stamp. Let's do this little butterfly right here. Now, normally this stamp's pretty sketchy because it is a distress ink. A distress ink means that it's distressed. It doesn't look solid. So, and I'm pretty sure that's how that's going to look, and it does. It's real sketchy looking. But that's the ink. That's because we're using a distress ink. If you have pigment inks and blues and all of that, like a Memento, they stamp wonderful. Work wonderful. So this is the new stamps from Signet Stamps. They're absolutely wonderful, and I would not say that if I didn't like them. If I don't like them, I'll tell you I don't like them. And you guys know I do not promote anything that I don't use and I don't like. I have lots of companies that contact me all the time about products, and if I don't like it, I don't promote it. I don't tell you guys about it. But I just wanted to show you these. Like I said, I think yesterday he did the preliminary release. He did put them up. I don't think it's been a full-blown release yet, but I think you can still go over and purchase these. And you're not going to be disappointed when you purchase them. And I will show you all the different ways that you can use these on your projects. All right, guys, that is it for this tutorial. Make sure, in order to be entered, and let me show you the stamp set. Okay, so here is the brand new stamp set. In order to be entered to win this, number one, you need to click on the link below, go over and check out these stamps. You don't have to make a purchase, just leave Bob a message and say, I saw E do a review on these and they're absolutely gorgeous. Love them. Just something to that effect. If you want to purchase them, that's just even better. But just going over there, get you an entry, and then come back to the video below. Just say, I went to Signet Stamps, told him I love them. I would love to have this set. Something to that effect. I just need to know if this is something that you would use. If you don't think you would use these, then please don't leave a comment saying that you want them. If you don't like them or you don't think you would use them, just say, I don't think I would use those, but thank you for the video. All right, I'm going to show you. They come to you, they're face down right here on the back. Oops. You see, there's a very hard plastic. You need to pull that off, and then it's very sticky on the back, so you can stick these to your stamp blocks. Now, if you have a stamp block that these stop sticking to, you can take a little bit of double-sided adhesive, put it on the back, and then stick it to your stamp block. But if you keep these cleaned and you keep your stamp blocks clean, these will stick for a long, long time. So don't worry about that. Now, when I ship these out, I will also ship them in a stamp bag. So let me find one. I will show you. These are the Avery Elle stamp storage bags. When I ship these out to the winner, they will be in the storage bag like that. Okay, so if you want to win, make sure you leave comments. Make sure you go over and leave Bob a comment about them, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you supporting the companies that we promote on this channel. Like I said, I'm not going to promote one that I don't like and that I don't care about and that I won't use. I'm not going to suggest that you use it, but all of you guys are so supportive of all of the digital companies, all the Etsy companies, different things that I promote on here, and I really, really appreciate it. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.